All right. Looks like we are live, gentlemen.
All right.
All right. So everybody, que pasa? Welcome to the W.F.C. podcast number 6. We're moving on. We got Witty. What's up, Witty?
Yo, boys. Good to be here again.
I got myself Fastback. And we got Coop. What's up, Coop?
Going on.
Also known as SuPRcooPR.
Yep, don't forget the super.
Yeah. And right now we got a special guest, Mr. Eric Jackson from BRAP and also from RGM. What's going on?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me. Looking forward to talking some games with you guys.
Yeah.
Podcast number 6 already, huh?
Podcast number 6. Good, guys. Pretty quick.
I see, man. Congratulations, though, on starting your own thing. That's cool, man.
Yeah, just having fun, you know.
Yeah.
Not trying to be big time, you know. We're just small fries, you know. Just, you know.
60 views on last video, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
I didn't think we get that many views so quick.
Yeah, it's fun to get more people joining in, chatting, you know. Just
absolutely, man.
Absolutely.
Talking about the same topics that we all love to talk about. So, so how's life out in South Beach on that yacht? How's gaming on that yacht, huh?
Oh, fantastic, man! It's a little rainy today and tomorrow, but I guess there's like some big hurricane brewing out there. We're getting into that season, so
yeah. We're getting some of that.
Yeah.
So what are you gaming right now on that yacht?
Let's see. Been playing Lost Legacy on Uncharted.
Okay. Yeah.
Started on that. And you know, a couple of weeks ago, or last week actually, I picked up the Switch. So finally digging into Breath of the Wild. And I actually started on the Wii U, but then when I got a few hours in, I kind of said, well, you know what? I'm gonna get a Switch eventually. And you know, thanks to the GameStop heist, you know, I was able to pick one up last week. So I just felt that was something I really wanted to play on the Switch. So I'm glad I kind of held off. So far, so good. Loving the game. And but other than that, yeah, those are the two that I've been focusing on for the most part. Like a week or so ago was Hellblade, which was like amazing.
Oh, yes.
So yeah, a really good game. And just trying to like get some of this backlog taken care of, which is probably going to be an utter failure considering how many games are about to hit, you know, just starting in August alone. So yeah, I'm about to be swimming in. Never end. Yeah. So that's pretty much it for me.
So I guess you decided, so that money that you conned the GameStop out of, you decided to get a Switch and some games instead of the pre-order the Xbox One X then?
Oh no, I'm still I'm not that I'm undecided. Actually, I still have enough to pay for the Xbox One X left over. I'm still holding off a bit. I was watching the Digital Foundry video a little while ago, and that's all good news, like what they were saying. And you know what was cool about that video and what they were saying? Like the excitement.
Yeah.
And I know like those guys catch a lot of, you know, flack, you know, from the community at times or whatever, you know, from knuckleheads. But what I kind of like is when you could see just the excitement in their eyes when they're talking about hardware. You know, and that translates. So from what they were saying about some of the first party titles on Xbox One X, I'm like, boom, that's checking a box because that's some of the things I wanted to know. And I decided I wasn't going to pre-order right off the bat because I wanted to get a little more feedback from like the real world, you know? And if I do pre-order, I'm going to be holding out for the standard Xbox One X. I'm not really feeling the Scorpio model. So I just kind of like want like the clean lines. Now, I will say this, if they did like an OG Xbox like design, which I saw like a picture that someone did, just like a render, I probably would have jumped all over that for nostalgia's sake. But yeah, but so far, definitely impressed by what they're saying, but undecided about when I'm going to jump on still. You know.
Yeah, it's sort of a subtle custom console, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I was a little disappointed. I was hoping for a little more from the controller. Not really feeling the controller too much, but whatever. I got a whole slew of controllers anyway.
Same here.
But yeah, thought it was a nice. I had to get it no matter what. But that was all they were taking pre-orders for at this point, right? They're not.
Yeah, they haven't put the standard up yet.
Yeah, that's
no. And I wonder how many people are might be still holding out, for the standard.
I'm holding out. I'm gonna wait a little bit. I want to see if there's any little bundles that come with it.
Right. That's another thing.
That's what I did when the Xbox One released. So no rush on my part.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it too. And I know it's out there that it'll super sample and make your library better even on a 1080p. But I would really love to have that 4K TV in place the minute I power it on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I haven't made the investment yet. I'm still researching 4K TVs, and like you said too, I want to kind of see Black Friday, like what kind of bundles they're talking about. I know Super Bowl Sundays are good times for TV, so I'm just kind of waiting it out, just to see what's up.
Yeah, Super Bowl Sundays always got the big sales, especially that's kind of like when the new ones start hitting too, right? So you can get like last year's. I jumped on one here a few months back. I got an open box deal. I scored a KU 8000 42-inch or whatever for the Samsung for less than $500.
Ooh, nice.
So I couldn't resist.
Yeah, the open box buys, man, you can definitely get some steals on that.
Yeah, this was a display. This is one they had up on the wall, and they had just got the new model in. So the only bummer about this one is it only has, it's got like 4 HDMI inputs, I think, but only one of them has HDR. So you can only have one HDR input at a time, which is kind of weird. That threw me off at first, but but I ain't complaining. I've only got one HDR input right now anyway, so
right.
It's all you need.
That's all I need.
Right.
What are you playing right now, Coop?
What am I playing? I just finished. Actually, I finished it this morning, or it was yesterday. What Remains of Edith Finch. And wow, what a fantastic game! I don't know. Game, I guess, is a bit of a stretch. Experience, maybe narrative, like playable narrative, kind of. But whatever you want to call it, it's a fantastic game. I felt real emotional at the end. Not gonna spoil it for anybody, but definitely highly recommend. Gorgeous game, great story. Yeah, very emotional. And then ever since last weekend, we've been hitting up the Division again. Playing that survival. Yeah.
I tried it 2 nights.
Yeah. I've been trying. I played it again last night for a couple hours and just finally did get another, survived again, killed the hunter and all that, and got almost a perfect score on it, but still have not been able to do it with a group. That's been the big trying to get a whole team out. It's a little easier solo, but it's tough trying to share resources and get everybody geared up as a team. So it'd be nice when we can get that going. But that's kind of about it.
Me who forgets to take the medicine as well.
Yeah, you got to take your pills with it.
What's up, Enrique?
Listen, I'm good.
We got Enrique just popped in.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Woo! So did you finally get your beer? I know you went on the beer run, right? So you.
All I gotta say is woo!
Sounds like it was a touchdown.
I'm
I feel like a nature boy right now.
Well, tonight for you. Number.
What's going on?
Not much. I can't stay for the whole podcast. Actually, I was having problems with Google trying to get in. Like I could get in, but I couldn't hear. Just a nightmare. I don't know what's going on with Google Plus, but I'm here with you, good gentlemen.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, definitely, and I'll stick around as long as I can and talk some video games.
Nice.
Excellent. So, speaking of that, what are you gaming right now, though?
Let's see. Right now, I am primarily. So I did get back to Yakuza 0 a little bit this week, and so I was trying to get through that because the new Yakuza, Kiwami, am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, it comes out.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it comes out next week, I think, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yep.
So I was trying. By the way, I almost pre-ordered like I guess there's like a deluxe edition where it comes like whiskey glasses or something. Have you guys seen this?
No, that's not the one that's coming out next week. That's that's Yakuza 6.
Oh, okay.
comes
So I got
out
my Yakuza's mixed up.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That one comes with shot like whiskey glasses and stuff.
Dude, let me tell you something. I'm all about that. I'm going to get the whiskey glasses. I'm going to. Well, I'm serious. I'm gonna wear a suit and drink whiskey while I play Yakuza 6.
Nice.
I think you should get Rosetta Stone and completely learn Japanese by the time that game comes out.
Dude, let me tell you something. I love the voiceovers in Yakuza.
Yeah, you could be like a real baller.
Been saying, yeah,
it's really good. Yakuza's really good. Zero is my first game. I still have to finish it. I have yet to finish it. So, but yeah, I can see why everybody's so high on that series.
So okay, so next week Yakuza Kiwami's coming out, and then what is this? Yakuza 6?
Yakuza 6, yeah.
Yakuza 6 comes
When
in
is that?
February. That's the actual like true next game because Kwame and Zero are remasters of.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I thought Zero was like the latest one. So damn.
Yeah. Yeah, Zero's like the prequel story to the main protagonist in the games.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So you would play Zero first, and then Kiwami, and then go to 6.
Yeah, and Enrique, I'm not sure where does Kwame come in.
I think Kiwami is. If I'm not, I thought Kiwami was the first or the second Yakuza, and I thought Zero was the. Well, I don't know. I'm all mixed up.
Witty, write this down, sir, so you can know which one to rent first.
Kiwami might be like the remaster of the first.
I've yet to play any of them.
Yeah, they're really good games. I mean, they're.
Are they linear, story-driven, linear, or is it kind of open like Grand Theft Auto?
Kind of an open world. You know, it really reminds me of. It really reminds me of what's it called? Shenmue.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it definitely. I get Shenmue vibes.
Nice.
So maybe it's like a combination of Shenmue and Grand Theft Auto. Now, okay, so Yakuza 0 is the prequel to the Yakuza series.
Mm.
And then Kiwami's coming out, as Eric said. And actually, no, Kiwami comes out. I'm sorry, yeah, Kiwami comes out August, and then 6 comes out in February, right, Eric? So Kiwami is. Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah. Fastback. Yakuza is sort of like if you took like Sleeping Dogs and mashed it up with Shenmue.
Okay.
You know, and I'm guessing those games are very much inspired by Shenmue, and I'm guessing Sleeping Dogs is very much inspired by Yakuza. But if you not as open as Grand Theft Auto, but if you took both of those, it's like a mix of both. A little bit open world, but very story driven.
Mafia 3-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got some there's some humor to it too.
Mm-hmm.
There's times where the game doesn't. There's times where I feel like I'm playing Virtua Fighter.
Mm-hmm. And it's brawler. It's got like that old school, like Sega brawler feel.
Yes, it does. Cool. It does. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna put that on the list then.
No, definitely. It's a great game. I mean, great story, great characters. The voiceovers are fantastic. You really enjoy games, man. You really enjoy the voiceovers, yeah.
When I get a PS4, I'll definitely check some gameplay out and decide then whether it's my thing.
Yeah, no, I highly recommend it.
I don't see point in getting excited about it when I don't even unbox.
Yeah, so I've been playing that.
It always sucks when it happens.
Yeah, right. I've been playing that, and then a little bit of I should say a little bit. And then I switched to Uncharted Lost Legacy, which is a really good game. I gotta say, I'm really enjoying that game. Naughty Dog has done a great job with this game. So that's pretty much it for me right now.
Cool. And Witty, what are you gaming right now?
Nothing at the minute. Just GTA last few days.
Yeah, I saw you posting that deal. The stream, that was pretty cool.
A bit of it last few days and that.
Yeah.
All right. But I think I finally finished Dead Rising 4 off. But most part, I didn't get the 1000G, but I ended up with 1040G, so that'll do me.
What'd you think of that game overall?
It'd have been alright if it was just single player and like co-op. I didn't see a need for multiplayer, but then again, I can see where they were going because you've got the people who didn't like the time and the people who did. So to take the time out at single player campaign, like catered for people like me who don't like that timer whatsoever.
Yeah.
But then you've also got multiplayer, which has got the same like leveling system and a few extra multiplayer skills as well. And like I said, it caters to them people who like the old ones and the co-op as well. So
you played the third one, right?
Yeah, I played the third one.
And I heard some people say that the third one is a little bit better than this last one. But,
just about the same, apart from
it's funny.
Exos is pretty good.
I don't know if you guys did. Everybody see that Twitter, the rumor about the scheduling for Xbox games for 18 and all through 19, and then you saw that at the 19. The last game was Dead Rising, but that's all it said.
Oh, was that chart that was going around?
Yeah, so Dead Rising was on there. But that's all it said. So I don't know if that meant like Dead Rising 5 or what, So if that's legit, how people, they're pretty good about making up these charts and
right.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll find out. But
does Dead Rising 3 have a timer?
No.
There's a kind of a timer, but I haven't really had an issue with it.
Okay.
I know last week you said you had an issue with that timer on 3.2. I think it.
Yeah, it started playing that one. I didn't get deep into it though.
Me, I never had a problem. I thought there was more than enough time. The third one.
Okay, because I'm like you. That's what turned me off about the first two games. I was like, ugh. This timer thing is like, ugh.
Yeah.
That weapons lasting any length of time and that. I'll probably play the game wrong as well. Not combining weapons properly or finding blueprints or whatever. But yeah, I would say with old ones. It always pissed me off that time, and you're never feeling like you're having to rush about.
Mm-hmm.
And no time to explore when you've got an open world game. The first thing I want to do is just explore and do whatever. It's like what we're doing on 4. We're just going about and try to collect all blueprints and this and other first to make the rest of the game easier.
Cool. Yeah, myself, I'm still trying to get through Serial Cleaner. I've been saying that for the past 3 podcasts. And that game is actually better than, it's an indie game. I had heard about this game on Short Pause Gaming, which little shout out to those guys. Those guys are great when they talk about games that are coming, out soon, and they give detailed information on a lot of these games that people don't even hear about. But
great podcast.
So I've been playing this, and it's just, it's a great game. It's just an old school top down set in the 70s. And, just trying to, you're a serial cleaner, and just, you got contract after contract, but there's a little story to it. There's a serial killer that's been going around killing. And so you've been cleaning up after him, and your character's figuring it out. And I'm at the end, and his mom gets kidnapped. So now I'm at the serial killer's house trying to get through it. And it's just, you kind of get through it. You get past they got these cameras. You get past the cameras, and then I get at the end, and I'm like cussing because I get caught. So it's definitely a challenging game. I'm definitely impressed with it. And I was telling Coop earlier. Well, of course, I've been doing some GTA 5. I still play a lot of that with my brothers, and then Witty and his boys. You know, on the weekends, sometimes stay up till 5 a.m. on that game. Just having fun, you know.
5 a.m., man? Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, I got one brother. He's out of the military, and so he stays up late.
Man,
so every once in a while, I get even during the week. He knows at work. He'll get 12 o'clock a.m. I'll get a text. He say, "Hey, where you guys at? I need help." You know, want us to jump in the game. Like, hey man, we're sleeping. We got work tomorrow. So yeah, still do that. And I just downloaded Hellblade.
Nice.
And Tacoma. I got those on the download. So I'll be hitting Hellblade this weekend.
I still gotta check out Tacoma.
Tomorrow night. I'm gonna Tacoma. I might stream a little bit of that Sunday morning, and you know, see how that goes.
Hey, Eric, can I say something real quick, man?
Of course, man.
Or I should say, Fastback.
What I was gonna say.
Yeah, I'm so used to like podcasting with you, Eric. Like, you know.
And I answered like we're on a. Like,
I know.
Like we're on rap.
Yeah, like this is rap, right?
Sorry about that, Fastback. We defer to you, Fastback.
Yeah, we defer to you, Fastback. This is your podcast. No, yeah, I just want to say something, man. This is the quietest I've ever heard your chair in a podcast.
I'm trying, man.
Yeah,
I'm being very still.
I've got to have one to rival.
It's the yacht chairs, man. It's the beach. It's the beach air. You know, it's the salt water in the air.
There you go. You gotta get some WD-40 on that, sir.
Yo, I sprayed it down, bro. And it came right back. It started doing it again. I was like, it was good for like a couple of months, and then it just came back with a vengeance.
Yeah, that's funny.
I didn't notice it until Enrique pointed it out.
But I mean, if that's all you got to complain about when you're, gaming on the yacht in South Beach, then you've got no problems. It's all good.
I know, right?
Shark fishing, wild wind sailing.
Upgraded to an hammock.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, that's been about it for me. So I'll be hitting those two this weekend, or at least one of them. But I definitely have my headphones on. Yeah. And then I probably maybe next week soon I'll hit that Lost Legacy. I need to jump on that. Eric, Enrique, how was that Lost Legacy?
It's pretty. It's like I said, it's good. I mean, I'm definitely enjoying it.
I mean, does the story keep you interested? I mean, is it?
Oh yeah, no, it does. I mean, it's considering the bar being set high with Nathan Drake and Scully and the relation and I said Scully and Sully the relationship they have. It's I mean, they've done well with the new cast of characters, and the puzzling or the puzzles are great. The action's great. There seems to be a little bit more emphasis on exploration in this game. But it's if you loved Uncharted, you'll love this game. Naughty Dog did a really good job. I think this game just illustrates why they're still probably the best in the business.
So is it standalone, or do you need to own Uncharted?
No, standalone.
So
yeah.
Pretty cool.
Can't go wrong. Always the best type of DLC, and especially
Absolutely.
when.
Yeah, I mean it's probably one of the best DLCs, or 0.5 games I've ever played. I mean, it's really Uncharted 4.5. It's because it takes place.
Surely can't touch GTA 4s.
Yeah.
But is this the first DLC that Uncharted's had?
Like this? Yeah, actually, yeah.
I've never heard of another DLC from them before.
Yeah, they started like the DLC model with The Last of Us.
Okay.
Like single player content DLC model with The Last of Us. Yeah. So I can kind of see this kind of being something of the experiment for Uncharted, because I don't believe for a minute that the Uncharted franchise is done. I'm thinking Nathan's story is done.
So.
Yeah. So this could be a way to kind of introduce like new characters, or even kind of tell stories of some of the other characters. Like I know a lot of people are saying they would love to see like young Sully
I was just gonna say, give us a
That
Soli.
would be cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, you know, so I could definitely see that. But the banter and dialogue between Nadine and Chloe is like really good, and it does feel a little bit more open than Uncharted 4 did. You know, and like the path that you can take and kind of moving around the world and stuff. So it's not. I mean,
4 was more open than the previous 3. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I just kind of marvel at a lot of times, like when you take Naughty Dog as a developer, like their attention to detail on certain things, you know, which goes a long way in games. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we take it for granted, you know, but it kind of goes a long way. Like when, you know, 2 characters are in the Jeep kind of having a conversation, and then you spot something and jump out, and they're like, kind of like, hold that thought, go off and do something and come back. So what was I saying? I'm like, that's pretty, you know, that's small detail, but it's still sort of one of those things that's like, wow, that's really cool. You know?
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed playing the 4th one. That was my first one that I played, and definitely, like you were saying, very detailed. It's like you're just running around and you have to look at everything. I mean, you know, whether it's items on the desk or the paintings or all the art, you know, the artifacts and everything, it's just very detailed. It's very cool.
Right. I tell you one thing though, man, that game, those Naughty Dog games, I guess they are good at squeezing like every bit of juice out of a PlayStation system. Because I stepped away from them and came back, and I walked back in. I swore like there was a jet engine in my room. It was just like this poor thing was like screaming like.
But that's on the regular PS4, right? Do you have?
I'm on the just the regular OG PS4.
Because I haven't heard anything really on the Slim. It hasn't really been loud for me, so.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was like, and maybe I hadn't paid attention because I had the headphones on at one point, but I was like, oh my God, is this thing gonna be all right? So.
All right. Before we get too sidetracked, we're gonna go head into our main topics, and we'll do a little quick preview on the first main topic is Gamescom. I myself, I did watch the Xbox show. I didn't really expect much out of it because I mean most Gamescoms, they're just really kind of like a rehash or just a little bit, adding more to what was shown at E3, right? So they did show a couple new trailers that they didn't show E3. I think Assassin's Creed Origin was a new trailer, and I think even Shadows of War. But and of course, I mean, you like to see gameplay, but Gamescom is pretty much all about the gameplay on the floor. So if you want to see gameplay, you're gonna have to pay attention throughout the week. Check out some shows, people that are there. Yeah. You see a lot of gameplay. I mean, Lucky's Tale, I watched a little bit of that, and I tweeted Alcoholist. You know how he loves his cats. Oh, Al. So I tweeted him. I told him that the main villain for Lucky's Tale is a cat. And
I saw that tweet.
Yeah, so I thought he would get a kick out of that. So he didn't know about that. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to that game.
Yeah, after seeing some more gameplay on that looks pretty. It looks good. Hearing what the devs were talking about it. So it's a good pickup for Xbox because they need a new platformer.
Yeah, game. Definitely. And I think we've been seeing that platformers are they're desired again. I think we can thank a lot of the indie scene for kind of bringing the notoriety back.
Yeah.
And I was high on that game even from E3. So so I had no problem seeing more of that or having them talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can get Coop to Coop. You got VR, so maybe you can check out the Lucky's Tale on VR and see what you think.
I already have it. Well, I have. I mean, it's not the super Lucky's Tale, but I was just gonna say, that VR, I have it. It's one of the games that came with my Oculus. You got like 7 free games, and that was one of them, and it's fantastic. I mean, it's a kind of a weird experience because I don't know. I mean, you picture a platform. Hard to picture a platformer as VR, because you're not playing from like first person. You're kind of looking down on the world, but it's a trip because you can kind of look around and it beautifully rendered. You know, it's kind of this cartoon land and you're in the middle of it. You know, you can kind of look around this whole thing, and it's really strange, but very fun. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I was like, a platformer in VR? Like, what is this? But they did a great job with it. It's a fun game, good controls.
Hey,
a couple of little camera issues, but
hey, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I actually got to get going, guys.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
hey, thanks for popping in, man. Appreciate it.
Definitely. I'm sorry I couldn't, stick around for the entire podcast, but I definitely like to come back and.
No, definitely, we'll get you on that time. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, like real quick before you leave, like I told Mike, I appreciate you. Like I told Mike, you giving me a home, you giving me a place to go to as far as podcasts. You know, as far as a safe place to go and just chill and talk about games. And I want to let you know I appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
You've been a little bit of inspiration to me. You know, you brought me into your podcast. You know, I was just a guy in chat. And, I appreciate that. Just want to let you know. And, you gave me the itch, After a while, it's like, man, I'm not on the podcast. Yeah. So I told Coop and Witty, it's like, hey, you guys want to do some podcasts? And we talked about it a couple times. So,
no, man,
my
pleasure, man.
I'll give you a compliment too. I've never thought you were a twat.
No, Enrique's not a twatter. That is not.
That's high praise, man.
A few on Twitter that I have thought.
That's high praise and accolade for
high praise
in Twitter communities, man.
Yeah, no, it is.
Like I said, I appreciate it. You give me, and I know you give many of us a home to where we can, just be real. We're gamers. We can be real and just, get along and chit chat. So
no, absolutely no. The pleasure, trust me, the pleasure is all mine. I'm like I've said this many times. When I started BRAP, I wanted to just create a place, like you said, a safe place where gamers can kind of voice their opinions and how they feel about things. Like it's, if you're not happy with your console of choice, it's okay to voice that.
Exactly.
You don't have to.
They hope not's got to change, is it?
Yeah, I mean, and you kind of, you don't have to toe the company line per se. I mean, we're all gamers, we're all consumers, we're all passionate, but I just wanted to create a place where people could just come and hang out and just talk video games, and that's it, and not get into the crazy fanboy stuff. So, we've accomplished that, so it means a lot to hear that from you, Fastback, and trust me, man, the pleasure is all ours. Is ours, man. We've enjoyed having you on, man. So
definitely.
Thank you, man. We definitely appreciate it.
Yep.
So, but all right, gentlemen. Well, yeah, I'd love to come back and join you guys if you would, have me on again.
Definitely, we'll get you back.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, so I'll catch you guys later.
All right.
Okay. Thanks again.
All right.
Yeah. See you guys.
All right.
So yeah, I'd like to apologise for my little blackout. I think I may need to trade in my phone very soon, like I.e. before the next podcast.
It all work out, sir. Let's see. What else from? Okay, so I mean, we all know, Gamescom when Xbox had the show. The main thing was the pre-order being, said, hey, go pre-order your Xbox One X. So,
yeah, Daz nailed it in chat there. I mean, he said Gamescom was shit excuse bullshit interview of what we've already seen.
That was the main. That was the main reason. Was look at this, look at this, look at that. Okay, now go pre-order your X.
Right. Yeah.
It was not a.
A lot of the takeaways were that they held people hostage. It's like, we know why you're here.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do? Because
they talked to the devs real quick. So.
Yeah. But I think if they were done at the top of the show, that's how you do it. You build the anticipation. But if they were done at the top of the show, people would have been gone.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, man. And in fact, you said this before too, man. It's like we kind of knew what it was. It was like a remix of E3. You're just praying as Xbox fans that 2018, once the X is out there in the wild, people have it. You just pray that 2018 becomes a more stellar year. and just discussions. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because I think it's going to be kind of hard to poke pinholes if the X is indeed delivering what people want, but they're also answering like the first party thing. And I know they do have first party coming up in 2018. Personally, I'm not that high on a good portion of it. Like I do hope Crackdown turns out to be what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not a big State of Decay guy, and I don't have high anticipation for Sea of Thieves because I'm not the biggest multiplayer guy. But it doesn't mean that I can't be converted or changed. But I just hope in general, you know, they kind of get ahead of that thing that people keep pounding on them about, and that's like lack of first party.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So, and that's their narrative to control change, you know.
Well, I think that's a big reason. I mean, the Gamescom. I mean, you know, Gamescom is a thing every year, whatever. But it's never usually that big of a news topic kind of thing. You know, E3 is always a big announcements, right? Gamescom is just kind of for the gamers to go, you know, get little demos and sort of a more of a fan fest kind of thing. And I think this year, just like you say, with the lack of first party support, everybody, you know, all the Xbox gamers are kind of holding their breath, going, "What are they going to give?" You know, just hoping for something, like give us something. You know, maybe okay, they didn't really show us. I mean, they not to say that they didn't show us anything, you know, but they didn't really show us much as far as first party games go at E3. Mm-hmm. So I think everybody was, you know, and then all of a sudden we got the bad news with Crackdown. So everybody's kind of going, oh shit, what are they going to give us here? Hopefully they're going to give us something, you know. Mm-hmm. I think that just kind of led into the whole anticipation, excitement for Gamescom, and then really, you know, for them to not really, like, you know, HDK said, and you know, we got Jurassic World. I think,
yeah, which I was like,
that was kind of weird that they announced that. But
I'm just hoping to God that's not that open world Horizon Zero Dawn fucking like content that they've been hyping up a bit since that they've got it back. Because I'm sorry, the only thing that's contending with is Halo Wars 2, and well, we all know how that ended.
Yeah. So I mean, again, you know, like, you know, I started saying like after E3, like honestly, like what was up with Crackdown. So them moving it, I had no problem with that. And
I don't either.
Yeah. And
it's zero. I had zero. Crackdown was I mean, you know, Crackdown. I think we've had it on a couple of these podcasts that it's not even, you know, this is never. I mean, it's like a stretch to call this a AAA title. You know, it's never been a huge seller. I mean, so I don't see what all the, you know, big fuss was about this game in the first place. So, yeah, let them take your time, finish it, make it good.
Yeah, because truth be told, they need what they need, and gamers are very like, you know, again, we've said this before, gamers are very like, what have you done for me lately? But gamers, as vicious as we can be, all we need is something good.
Absolutely.
And then we're like kids with pacifiers, you know what I'm saying? Like we stomp, we kick, we scream, but you give us something good and we're like, oh, it's all good. Okay, we're cool. We're cool. But if you're quiet, you don't say much, and then you push it out, and it's kind of like, that's what we've been waiting for? Oh, it's on. You know, so hold it, make it the best it can be. They really need like a game like that from them, not PUBG.
Horizon Zero Dawn or something like that.
Yeah, they need something like that that says that people can go, wow, okay, because they used to have that a lot. You know, there was a time where you could set your watch and go, you know, when Microsoft dropped a first party game, you were like, everybody was there at midnight at GameStop, and it was huge fanfare. And they haven't had that in like the last, you know, couple of years. You know, and
a lot of like little AA games as well. Like I remember them something like that.
Exactly.
Near as good years, but I'd rather have an half decent game than just nothing. I suppose we can just pray to God that, well, thank God that Crackdown's not got fucking, you know, just totally canned.
Well, Crackdown 3, okay, you got two studios, right? But the one studio doing the single play, are they a Xbox studio, or are they just like a second party?
If I'm not mistaken, it's the studio that did the first game.
I think
they are. Yeah, but I'm not sure. Are they actually part of Xbox Studios?
That I don't know. If anybody in the chat knows,
I don't know.
I don't know for sure. That's the thing too. Is like Crackdown has never been on par with Halo and Gears. Xbox has never treated them that way.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have brought that game in and got people together, had put a studio together in-house, then maybe we wouldn't have had this problem.
Mm.
You know, they're sitting here going to maybe second-party studios, and then you got another studio that's not even, here, it's in Europe, and trying to do the multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely been a disconnect there.
Right. And B Money just confirmed. What's up, B Money? He confirmed that no, they're not. They're not a first party.
See, and
studio.
That's kind of been a telling story of the way Xbox has handled their games this year. If it wasn't Gears, Halo, or Forza, then really these games are not. They're not being handled with the same type of important that those three are. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're just like, let's go to the second party studio. Let's go to this third party studio. Let's try to get a game out. And we haven't been getting quality games.
Mm-hmm.
So they've mishandled the way they've been dealing with this since the beginning. You know, remember in the beginning, in 13, indies really weren't all that great on Xbox. Mm-hmm. And finally, they brought in Chris Charla and revamped the ID on Xbox.
Right.
And indies it's great now. So they've had to go back and look at their studios and try to refocus. And here we are in 17 is the reason why, because they've made a lot of mistakes, management decisions, or look at this game. I think this game would be cool. No, not really. Didn't work out. So we're not, these games that we all want to see. We might maybe see one new IP maybe next year. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
we're not going to see a lot until going 19 and on. Because I think games will come, but it's just going to take a while.
Well, if Jurassic World isn't out next year.
Yeah, a lot of people on that Jurassic World was like, really, this is, but yeah, one of the things I wondered is, do they have like a core like third party, like I don't want to say liaison, but like a team? Because we know the joke is always out there. That they have the hardware unlocked. We get hit with controllers. And then they have like the UI unlocked. They have that. We know they have teams for that. And I've taken some heat every now and again by bringing that up. Say, well, that's two different teams. That's the first thing you hear. Well, there's a software team and then there's the hardware team. I say, yeah, there is, but they all answer to a figurehead, like the Phil Spencers, of people who are on top. And it's Microsoft. It's not like a small independent studio that has limited resources. So it seems to me like when it comes to their third-party effort, like a Recore or something to that effect, or Recore would actually be considered second party, I think. You kind of need that person that knows how to have these relationships and goes and make sure that these things are on point, before they release, because they have this narrative that's sort of like, and I've been kind of living by it. I said, when they're quiet, it's not usually good. Because anyone who has something that they're proud of, when it comes to Halo and Gears, they're proud.
Oh yeah.
And they talk about it. When it comes to Forza, they talk about it. When they're quiet on the game, you're like, they may not be that sure about it. But that's why you need that person like a Chris Charla that goes, hey, I'm on my way over to XYZ studio. I gotta knock some heads together.
Yeah. No, he's been working, and it shows.
Right. This isn't to the standard that we need.
Shannon Loftus, isn't she the one that's the Microsoft studio, that she's the one that's supposed to go out there and work on the party?
From what I understand, yeah. So somewhere along the line, there's some kind of disconnect. I don't know where her position is. I don't know what she does, so I can't, but there's a disconnect.
It might be lost in Alan Greenberg's head. He seems to think we're getting bitch slapped with exclusives right and center.
That was not.
He's doing his job. He's the PR guy.
That's exactly. That's what he's supposed to do. That's corporate. That's how corporate does.
Trying to sell you a new car, but it's a used car. So
right. So hey guys, I'm sorry, I gotta abruptly jump off. My wife and daughter just got home, so I gotta go square them away.
All good, sir.
But we got to do this again. I appreciate you guys having me.
Hey, appreciate you, Eric. Thanks for coming on, man.
And you guys keep on plugging at it, man. It's gonna grow.
Oh yeah. And like I told Enrique, I appreciate you too, because I always like hearing your stuff. You got a lot of common sense talk, and
thanks, man.
just, we kind of seem on the same link, so
yeah,
definitely enjoy.
I like rocking
being a podcast. So
honestly, I like rocking with gamers who don't take it all serious. Like we can have discussions and not be like butthurt over it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, they're consoles. We have bigger things going on in life, and we should be able to be critical.
Yeah, we may not always agree on the same thing, but
exactly.
You know.
And at the end of the day, we all just want the best from the thing that we love. We love gaming. That's it. So yeah, you guys keep on rocking, man. I appreciate it.
All right, Eric. Appreciate it. Thanks for dropping in.
Got it. Catch you guys later.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
We got 2 guests and they both left us.
Who's next? Who's jumping out next? Just let everybody know that and Eric, I had asked him to come in after Enrique said he wasn't going to be able to, and Eric was kindly enough to jump in with us. So, and they had both said they had other obligations. So yeah, I appreciate them.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah. Very appreciated. Yeah, Dad says he'd jump in.
Who's Dad? No, it's up to Witty. If Witty wants you in,
Yeah. Jump in.
Send that man a link.
Speaking of special guests, Jay Street in the chat. Sorry, Witty. We're gonna get Jay Street in here. Not next week, Jay, but we're gonna get you in here the following week.
Yeah.
So he's another one that.
Nice.
Huh? But it's already okay. So you guys got any more on Gamescom? I mean, is anything that?
Hold on, I'll give you a full rundown on Gamescom. Okay, I'm done.
I know what he's gonna say.
I'll tell you about my experience at Gamescom. Like I missed the first 10-15 minutes and the last 10-15 minutes. And every minute in between that I was watching, I wanted to bang my head against the wall.
Y'all didn't see anything that.
Which I'm telling you, I'm sorry, if that is that game that they're on about, that open world fucking Horizon Zero Dawn Contender. I'm telling you.
No, that's not what that is. that Jurassic World is like a Sims game. It's like you're building up your own.
Straight away,
Jurassic World Park.
Right.
The only game that's contended in is Halo Wars 2, and it'll probably do better than Halo Wars 2 because it's got Jurassic World name to it, and kids are gonna love that shit.
Well, no, it's not a RTS. It's more in line like with the City Skylines. That's all it is. Just you're building up your, it's not going to be a big seller. I mean, I don't even know why they even put it on. I guess just a filler, But I guess they don't have much, so they had to.
Even missed them. Even the tell us what the pre-orders were up. Not that it mattered.
Yeah.
Not that I care.
I mean okay. After watching Gamescom, I'm more excited for, of course, Cuphead.
Yeah,
and of course they showed. I know if you guys didn't see the video, they had someone. I don't know if she's a PR person for the studio that's doing Cuphead, but dude, she was wearing some tight ass jeans, Olivia Newton-John leather pants.
That's all anybody's talking about. Those
that's
leather
what
pants.
everybody. Yeah, and they did show. They talked to the State of Decay 2 dev, and they showed a little bit more of that. What I thought was cool about the State of Decay 2 is that okay? So if us three are playing it, you playing your own game, right? It's not your typical co-op type game. I don't think you can have more than 2 people co-oping, but
yeah, it's two player on it. It's always been 2 players. Cuphead.
I'm not sure, but from what I gather, okay, so you're in your game. I can ask Coop or you to jump in and, hey, give me a hand, go do a mission, whatever, right? And then vice versa. Supposedly, so if you guys are in your game, you can shoot a flare gun and I guess you guys will get some kind of, you see the flare in your game, and I guess then you can just click and join.
That's awesome.
So I did like some of that. Lucky Tales, I saw more of that. I was interested in that. Definitely, I was kind of hoping the Age of Empires, which is not a surprise, but it's PC only. So I saw some of that. That looked pretty cool. How they were saying how just gamers, how people like to mod games, right?
Yeah.
So they had these guys who were just modding the Age of Empires, like the original and the second, right, and the third or whatever. So they kept it going. Well, it got so it got big among the Age of Empire, enthusiasts that they ended up creating their own little studio, and they fixed everything that Age of Empires original, and I think second and third. So Microsoft just got with them and decided, hey, we're going to publish, what you guys did, all the improvements, and then Age of Empire 4 is coming up.
Wow, that's amazing.
So,
yeah, there's some legit modders out there, man. There's some amazing stuff.
I guess they did enough to where people took them seriously.
GTR modders and that.
Yeah,
right one.
They do some good stuff too.
Maybe City to PC or whatever. I think they shut it down like that.
So I'm not sure if Age of Empires is ever going to come to Xbox. Maybe later on. But people were like, "Well, how come that's not?" You know what I mean? I saw some noise about that, but I'm like, that was a PC game. But maybe later on down the road,
well, if
they want to port it over and make it fit for Xbox gameplay console, then
UWP is a miracle to say it is. Then there shouldn't be any issues getting all these PC games.
No, it hasn't been. That's lately, and that's one thing that Xbox has been doing good about. Since they really don't have a strong AAA lineup, but they've been real good about going to the PC world and looking at what good games that are on there and bringing them over and put them in their game preview. So I think we're kind of done with Gamescom, but real quick, we're going to segue into the game preview real quick before we end the podcast. Coop, so when you were brought up about game preview versus beta, what did you kind of mean about that? Your thoughts on that?
I guess it was just kind of, looking at the games like, we just got Conan. Do you prefer, because some people don't like playing betas, because it maybe kind of spoils the, maybe you give a bad taste, like a game you're excited for, and all of a sudden you try the beta and you're like, eh. I mean, I got to admit, For Honor was that for me. I was all excited for For Honor. I tried the beta. I played several hours of it and just, I don't know, it just wasn't for me. I was just like, okay, this is it. Like, I don't know. I don't think this is a $60 game. I may have jumped at it for 20, but so that's kind of takes me to that. So if For Honor had been a $20 or $30 preview game, a preview title, I probably would have jumped on it, and went, oh, okay. So, I think, and, we got games like, obviously PUBG is just huge. I mean, that's a game preview game, on PC, and PCs, I think does this, of course, Xbox has their game preview program, but PC's been doing this for a while with games. I mean, look, a game like Arma or DayZ or some of these games that have been in, preview status or whatever for years. And, but there's still thousands of people playing them, and, they're huge. I mean, that is kind of the negative, I think, about some of the game preview programs, is how long they can get drug out and it don't seem to be progressing. Maybe you're only getting updates every 6 months or something like that. That to me is kind of a cash grab, bit of a ripoff. But I think, that there's something to be said, though, to, maybe No Man's Sky is another example. Had they released it, we just hit the 1 year, and actually it's a pretty decent game. If they had a year ago said, okay, well, we're going to release this, $30 game preview, you know, this is what we want to do with this game. We want to have this multiplayer. We want to have, you know, this sort of graphics and this and that, you know, stuff that we were promised that we didn't get. If they had done that in a game preview program, think of how there would have been no backlash, really. You would have gone in with lowered expectations. You know, you wouldn't have been out, you know, a full $60 full price game for half a game, or, you know, for whatever that we got. And I think it's a better way to kind of, you know, grease the developers a little bit.
Bonuses to doing it the game preview way.
The what?
There's definitely more like fucking pros to doing it the game preview way.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I mean, there's a lot of games out there that when they go to these betas,
doing it because, you know, it like varies between a lot, doesn't it? It's like, look at what is it, that We Happy Few? It's like they've basically took away all the story, haven't they? So
right.
You can't play any of that, and you just in open world, and you don't have a clue what you're doing. Whereas
yeah, and that one was kind of a head scratcher for a game preview, though, to me.
Yeah,
I don't think that really sold. I think that turned people off more than it sold them on it.
Yeah. Where you've got, and then you've got on the other side, you've got like that Conan Exiles where you get in the old game, even though it's buggy as shit.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
Game, God knows what.
I could barely get through the 60-minute trial with that one.
Yeah, and then that's expected of those games because they do have a little disclaimer, and it does say that, you know, this is a beta and the game is still in work and it's going to have issues. So they do let you know that before you buy it.
Yeah, but
so
a bonus as well to buying it as well, is at least you don't have to pay full price later on.
Yeah, it's like $35 in game preview. So once they get everything done, everything patched, everything, all DLC, whatever they add, and then they sell it to everybody else for $60, but you get to do all that. You still have all that for the $35 that you played. So
betas have always been a cunt as well, because, you know, you've got to buy another game to like get invited to it and that lot, and it's like, the fuck. Why do I have to buy this game that has nothing to do with it to get in this game?
You know, that's funny. When we were just talking about Crackdown, the initial, and that wasn't, you know, I was kind of excited for Crackdown, but they had the Halo beta. You know, in order to get a Halo 3 beta, you had to buy. You could, you know, if you bought Crackdown, the first game, they got the beta code for Halo 3, which is like, oh man, Halo. I mean, I was more interested in the Halo code than I was the, you know, I mean, Crackdown won me over. That was a pretty cool game, but I mean, that's, like you say, Woody, that's a perfect example right there of that. You know, I just got the beta code for, of course, I guess PlayStation gets a beta first for that Call of Duty World War II.
Oh, yeah.
But
so a few days or a week early, isn't it?
Right.
Well, one good thing, like EA Access, they also give everybody a chance to, and they give you more than an hour. Right?
Yeah,
they give
10
you
hours.
10 hours. So my brother played Madden 18 and he liked it. So I think,
great.
You know.
Yeah, even I've got to agree that EA Access is the best valuing game in a minute.
For sure.
Subscription things.
Yeah, they do it right to, you know, on that part.
Humble bundle fucking things. But then again, I want nothing to do with that shit.
Humble bundles are great for filling up your backlog.
Yeah. Giving you games that you'll probably never play.
Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of them. But hey, I mean, the game that you're usually going for in the Humble Bundle, you get for usually cheaper than you would pay normally, and you get a bunch of filler games as well. So,
right, games in it. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I've gotten some.
You could donate either $1 and get a few games, and then there would be bigger packages where you get more.
Yeah, they usually have 2 or 3 tiers. Sometimes 4. Sometimes they even get T-shirts and.
See, we should just all go to PC and be done with it.
Exactly. What are you guys thinking? Join the master race.
Go fund me. I'll buy one. I promise. I won't buy a bag of weed with money.
Right.
Well, I'll try not to.
So fast. What do you think? What do you preview versus beta? Do you think, or either way, what's your thoughts on it?
No, I love the game preview because you guys know I play the shit out of Ark. And even though it was buggy and had its issues, and a lot of people, didn't like it because of that. I went through it because I knew they were still working on it. So, but I had more fun out of it than I had problems with it. So it all worked out for me on that one. I started Conan Exiles, so that's going to be a long haul for me to get through all that. Once I get everything out of that, we'll see.
Well, at least you don't have the burden of a big dick.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about that. Dragging that around the game. So
it's gonna be totally tiresome.
But I did have We Happy Few. And speaking of, when they showed We Happy Few at that E3 a couple years ago, that preview looked great, right? That trailer. It's like, okay, I'm gonna try this game. So
yeah, if it's all like that, like a story-driven.
Yeah. So we all bought it, and then once you get past that part,
what's it?
And you're like, it's like, what's this shit? They didn't show this shit in the trailer. So, but Chicken Spaghetti and a couple other people have said that the game is much better, and it's changed a lot from when it first came out. So I'll give it another crack, see how that goes. But I do like betas. To at least give a game, try it out before you decide to pay a big price for it. I think when Crew came out, before Crew came out, I saw what they showed in E3s and stuff, right? They showed trailers, and what you saw, what the devs were trying to sell you, it looked cool. But then when I jumped into beta for the Crew, I was like, to me, it wasn't all that. So I'm glad that I did the beta, because if I would have went off of what I saw at E3 and what those devs were showing, I've been like, oh yeah, I gotta have that. So I think it does help. But then again, you got like Destiny. Destiny was a good game, even though it was missing the story. But I played the shit out of that because you were able to go up to level 8 on the first Destiny.
I was gonna say the first Destiny beta was pretty good. This last one didn't sway me. I played the last one, the Destiny 2 beta, and
the last one had me like, okay, what more am I gonna get out of Destiny 2?
Yeah, I wasn't impressed at all. It didn't.
I mean, you had the story there, so I guess at the end, how at the end when you kind of get your ass kicked. I mean, I guess it's kind of maybe I want to see more. But they didn't show you really about the open world type, because they did that with the first one. So you had the open world area that they allowed you to be in. But when you first played the game, when you got it, it's like, I've already played this, So maybe they heard that and they kind of scaled back and just gave you a little taste. So I don't know. So, but you look at Titanfall 2, their beta didn't go so well. So that probably translated over to sales. And of course, it released, with Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty at the same time. So that didn't help. And then, no, I think we need betas. We need game. We need more of them. And like you said, I think some games should, like Recore. Maybe if they had put Recore, like, did you say that earlier? If they had put Recore in game preview, they could have built on that.
That's just bullshit what they've done with that. They released an unfinished game. They put a picture of a tank bot on the main cover. You think you got it as a PAL, and you don't. And then a year later, they got to release a definitive edition. Yeah, they're giving it away free, but most people have got that game and sold it off.
So, well, that game was only what, $20?
Yeah, something like that.
So,
it was a great game.
No,
It's tough.
WithQuarters? Yeah, I mean it's got definitely got some good mechanics. It is fun to run around shooting at everything so jumping around.
Tough platforming in that game.
It is, yeah.
Combat was a little bit frustrating, but it was good.
Yeah.
I mean, thankfully, I was still able to get that 1000G in it, thanks to this dungeon that wasn't really supposed to be there. It won it. This area.
Well,
like open enough chests in it to.
That was only a digital game, right? So we're all gonna get the definitive edition for free.
Oh, I did.
Right. If you had the. Yeah, I don't think they had a physical. Maybe.
I don't remember it being physical. Yeah, like UK Daz, he said it's a game you like or hate. So even like
well, I suppose price said it all, didn't it?
The one that was hyped up on the PS4, No Man's Sky, that would have been a perfect game in game preview.
Yeah, but people say what they want about them, and at least they've like gone out and like straight updated it like straight away and constantly, and have sorted it out like 10 months. Well, I think they sorted most of the stuff out within a few months, didn't they? Whereas, look,
I mean, Coop, you played No Man's Sky with the latest stuff. You think it's worth $60 even now?
$60. I don't know. I don't know if I'd pay 60. I mean, they had it recently on sale. I think it was 24. I'd paid every bit of 24. 24, maybe 30, but 60.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if you're really into that sort of game, maybe. But I think in general,
you could say same about Fallout, couldn't you? A lot of people, like my mate, just don't fucking want to give Fallout a go. But
wow,
it's like the next game I played again. You know, I haven't played Witcher 3 yet, but I haven't been able to invest my time.
Yeah, but see, those are hard comparison to No Man's Sky. I mean, No Man's Sky is just a different type of experience. You know, it's it's a grind game. Sort of a semi-sim type game. It's great. It's beautiful. Like I said, they have definitely improved it. They've added a lot to that game. I mean, the base building, the trade system. Like I said, if you're into that style of game, $60 is probably a good, a fine. But if it's just a game that you just want to casually play every now and then, I think for $25, whatever, somewhere in that range, you get your money's worth. Other than that, you'll probably get bored of it way before you get $60 worth. I don't know, but that would have been a prime, like I said, if they would have just released that in sort of a game preview kind of thing in stages, and then like say, now that they've got some sort of multiplayer, you've got there's now that they've got so much to that game. If they would have had their new 1.3 patch and said, okay, now we've got the full game, sort of like, like a Conan or something, one of these other games is doing, or We Happy Few, where they're announcing, okay, now we're, and then said, okay, if you want it from that point, you pay $60 or whatever. I think it would have been way less controversy than what we ended up with, but Sony doesn't really have a game preview. They don't do game preview, right?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And that they could end up following what Xbox are doing, because I mean, game preview for Xbox has been growing. It's been gaining some attention. And if once PUBG comes in,
yeah, that's the big get right there.
I'll tell you what, if because Ark Survival sold 1 million in a short period of time. So if PUBG comes in and let's say, what they've done about 8 million on PC, if they do 3 to 4 million at least on Xbox in game preview, I mean, that's big. That's almost up there with Halo and Gears sales. And it was kind of, and speaking of going along with the Gamescom announcement, because they, because they don't have a lot. So the whole deal with, hey, okay, here's the Xbox One X preview, pre-order. And before they said that, of course, they announced PUBG getting in bed with the Xbox, as for Xbox publishing. So,
sleeping with them on side.
So, I mean, what are y'all's thoughts on that? Because, you know, it kind of been a heated topic. And
I've said
my thinking...
E3 ever not that I don't think that game's got to be Xbox exclusive, and I stand by that.
Well, see, at E3, they didn't announce publishing, though.
Them people that got retweeted.
Yeah.
And they had the ample opportunity to answer the question and say, is it always an exclusive? They didn't. They skirted around the block, refused to answer it. So it's definitely got a PlayStation. It's basically the same as Rise of Tomb Raider. You know, because we've all got to agree, surely, that Microsoft weren't complicit with Rise of the Tomb Raider, that Square Enix told people 2 or 3 months before the game.
Yeah.
You know, PlayStation. Microsoft didn't want that.
No.
Square Enix have done that, you know, brought contract or whatever they've done. Fuck knows. I don't know, but I know for the fact Microsoft did not want that to happen.
Oh, of course not. Yeah.
You know, they must have a better like relationship with these guys, and they're not bowing to pressure at PlayStation people. Fair enough, you know, they'll be under contract. You know, I'm not blaming them, but doing by refusing to answer the question is confirmed that it's definitely got PlayStation.
Or it's a work in progress.
You know,
I think
they just can't confirm it now because
it's under NDA, so it's just.
I mean, if you were
seem to forget his publishing rights don't really mean you know, you can
have
different publishers for the same game. You know?
Well, if you look at Titanfall 2 was published by Xbox, and of course they partnered with EA, and they had full, you know, rights on that, and the game still did well on Xbox. So I guess it all depends on who they're working with, because the thing is with PUBG, they're just working with the dev. So they're not working with another publisher. So Square Enix is a publisher of themselves. So they kind of co-published the Rise of the Tomb Raider. And so I'm sure, you know, maybe Xbox, you know, because Phil, he you know, he had come out and said he wanted a game like Uncharted. So I think that's why, you know, they went and did that deal with Tomb Raider, and I think he was hoping to get that full exclusive, but I'm sure Square Enix said no. You know, we're going to keep that, you know, time 1 year. So
if you were a developer of PUBG, wouldn't you want the same thing? You say, okay, well, Xbox has got the preview program. Let's jump, you know, let's jump in there for now.
Yeah.
We go full
make
release.
some more money.
Yeah, they want, you know, they're looking at 60 million consoles, saying, okay, we've done this well on PC. You know, they're going to do killer on Xbox, and of course they want to hit the PlayStation.
But it all depends, because you look at Rise of Tomb Raider, some of the other games that have been 1 year exclusive, and they gone to the other platform. Going from, let's say, okay, Rise of Tomb Raider, did it do that well on PS4 after 1 year? I mean, you know, because it kind of.
I don't know what the sales were.
Make any noise. I don't think it did as well. I'm not sure.
That's a tough sell. You know, when a game's been out for a year, the buzz is kind of already, you know. I think it did okay. I mean, that's a fantastic game. Anybody, you know, whatever platform you got, you should play that game. It is
exactly.
It is amazing. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it probably, had they both released at the same time, I'm sure it would have done a lot better on PlayStation. But I think there was kind of the hype had, you know, obviously died down. I mean, a year later, and
even like Dead Rising 3, that's already gone. That went 1 year on Xbox, and it's on PS4, right?
I have no idea.
But I don't think that one did all that great. You know, I don't know. I think it all depends, because if Xbox, and I think they're called Bluehole is the name of the dev, if they have a great relationship and everything works out, if this game sells big on Xbox, who's to say Xbox will go to them and say, "Look, we want to make this game full exclusive, and we're going to throw more money at you to start working on the second one," you know, or, you know, keep improving it, and then we'll let's do another one. So I mean, that could happen. So there's no guarantee. So, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does go to PS4 in a year. So,
no, I wouldn't be surprised either.
And then I'd be curious to see if it does well on Xbox and it's still having success throughout that year, how well would it do on PS4? Because PS4 is not really known for shooters. It's not big, as far as the online community like it is on Xbox. So I mean, Call of Duty is doing well on the PS4, but that's because PS4 has got the marketing rights and they've been marketing that. They've had a couple good bundles on it. So I don't know.
So on that point too, for game preview games, going back to like a game like PUBG, how long of a timetable do you give it a game? I mean, right now we know what that game is, right? It's a battle royale. Mm-hmm. It's a simple. I mean, I believe they only really have like the one map, right? I mean, it's like a little town. It just shrinks and until everybody's gone or whatever. Now, I mean, to me, it's like, okay, it's sort of like that Friday the 13th and some of these other like similar, kind of battle royale. Yeah, exactly. It's like, how long of a life? I mean, I think it's awesome. That's one of the reasons it's great for.
This is thing. 8 million people plus already playing this game on PC.
Yeah.
Right. How long what's the shelf life of that though? I mean, that's with DayZ when it first came out was huge. I mean, if you guys remember when that first was released, there was like same thing, millions of people playing DayZ. But I mean, they've and that's a hard, I guess, maybe a bit because they really haven't done much to upgrade that game in a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And but it's died off. I mean, obviously PUBG is kind of taken over the universe as far as those type of games go. But how long of a how long do they extend the arm with this with these type of games? I mean, I don't like games that are kind of in a development rut that they just kind of drag on and on and on and I'm hoping that, because I guess they did say there's going to be like a desert area that they're adding, desert map or something.
Yeah, they showed it looked like a city in the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be hard to fucking make a shrinking map, should it? For fuck's
No. Yeah, you would think they would have.
Usually, a map is the easy thing. Look at Fallout New Vegas. They made that game in 18 months. They had to make an entire new map and all this shit. And
that map's huge.
What the fuck are these guys doing?
I think while it's in preview, I think you're gonna get a few maps. You're gonna get, of course, your cosmetic, and then more weapons. I even tweeted and added the devs from Bluehole and Mikey Barra on the tweet and said, hey, it would be cool if being on the Xbox game preview, if they did a nod towards Halo and Gears and threw a couple weapons in from those games. I think that'd be kind of cool. I mean, I even tweeted that with Lawbreakers.
Energy Sword.
If they had brought Lawbreakers over, or if it does and when, what's his name can kind of team up with the Coalition and maybe bring in Phoenix as a character, have a little nod to the Gears, because he worked on Gears.
Cliffy B.
But I think PUBG has legs. I think it can, because it's like the latest trend as far as the shooting. Everybody's kind of getting bored with Call of Duty, Battlefield and all that.
They say they are, and then they give Call of Duty a million dislikes, and then the game's still best-selling game.
Don't be surprised if PUBG has success and it sustains for a good while. Don't be surprised if the next Call of Duty adopts like a battle royale type map.
Oh man, I think it's going to come to every game. I mean, there's going to be so many clones coming out. They're in the works right now. I guarantee it.
Titanfall, when they did the whole mechanics, jumping, and this and that, everybody else followed suit. Besides Battlefield.
All you've got to do is make one map, and map shrinks on you. Yeah. Fuck, how hard is that? Like, goddamn it.
Well, you know what?
Get something like that out in a day.
I saw a trailer. The latest trailer on PUBG, and I kind of got excited about it because you can drive in that game, right? But they have vehicles, so it kind of reminded me of GTA 5. You know, how we just run around with vehicles and shoot each other and this and that. So I'm kind of excited for PUBG a little bit. I want to see more. I might even jump in on it. You know, maybe a couple of us, you know, get on there and go out there and do what we can do. You know.
Yeah. I think it'll be fun.
It'll be fun for a while.
Yeah. I don't think it's something I would play for a real extended period of time, but I could definitely see jumping in every, you know, sort of like a Rocket League, you know, where you jump in every once in a while, have a fun night, and then move on.
Yep.
You know? I can't see getting super obsessed, you know, playing it every night, kind of.
Yeah.
But definitely looks good for a laugh.
Get back to you when I see that achievement list.
Hey, but see, Witty, you might have all these achievements, but then you're gonna see me 100 hours in Conan Exile playing with my dong slider, and that'd be better than your 1,000 achievements.
I love 0G.
So okay, and you know, we've been talking about Gamescom, and we've been talking about you know, all this stuff, game preview and stuff like that, and kind of like, you know, Xbox's, the state of Xbox this gen. So the next topic, real quick before we head out, I had made a feedback on the Xbox Live. It was kind of hard to find it. You know, somehow I got to it by accident. But you can go to xboxlive.com and you can leave a feedback on games and features and this and that you know. I've done it before a couple of years ago and brought up a feedback about, you know, why can't we have, and if you want to blame me, Witty, I had brought up, you know, why can't we have custom consoles with different colors that we can order and controllers, right? Well, we got controllers. I'm not saying it's on me because there was already one there, so it added to that. So there was a lot of people speaking up that they wanted these custom consoles and controllers.
Oh,
and I think it would still be cool to have custom consoles too. But you can order, you know, on order though.
How much would that cost though? Damn, I mean, look how much the controllers are. Well, you know, the controllers are like
bundle what they're charging for that.
Well, I mean, if you look at, you know how like the Xbox One S, it's been coming down in price, right? So let's say you wait a couple years and just go grab one and get a custom console that you want, you know?
Well, I suppose I could use custom consoles as a way to bridge gap. You either get a Xbox One S at $300 or $250 or whatever it is now.
Yeah.
And another $100 to custom one. Maybe chuck in like an extra instead of a basic 500 gig hard drive, make a terabyte. And then you've got your Scorpio, which is another, like, let's face it, after like 6 to 12 months, that's got to drop by $50.
Oh, for sure.
You think the Xbox One X is going to drop?
Eventually.
Maybe next holiday, though.
Maybe I could see even by spring getting some sort of deal.
Bundle, maybe.
A bundle. You know, I mean, even I've seen the...
You'll be paying like day one price, but at least you'll be getting a game chucked in. So
it all depends on how well it sells. If they're projecting, I think, $1 million for the holiday. If it does more than that, we may not get a drop anytime soon.
Yeah, it has sold more in pre-orders.
Yeah.
Than the PlayStation 4 has sold physically. That's crazy.
Yeah, but pre-orders don't mean shit end of the day, because end of the day we don't even know. Like when they say sold out, we don't know how many they've put up for sale. It's, you know, a minute.
Yeah.
You know, always, something sold out to generate hype.
True, but at the same time, I mean, I guess Amazon and all these guys, they only get told, hey, we're going to give you 1,000 Xbox One X pre-orders.
Right.
And if they sell out of those 1,000, they sold out. I mean, if somebody goes on there and click on it and they commit to pre-ordering it, you know, it is
all sold out.
But I mean, as far as we're not going to know the official number until, you know, probably until December. once they do
No,
an NPD.
a million's about my estimate anyway, I reckon, because there's a
Yeah.
shit ton of people on Twitter, you know, Xbox fanboys, fucking tech whores, whatever you want to call them, who are definitely going to be getting this day one. But my biggest
So
point
you're calling Coop a tech whore?
the console's not going to sell like a new gen would, because my biggest problem with it is I don't need to buy the console to play any of the games that are coming out.
Oh no, you don't.
And that's the biggest issue that it's got to have.
Well, I mean but see, Phil has been. That's the thing. He doesn't want to leave anybody behind, though. He's saying, "Hey, it doesn't matter if you're on the S or the OG Xbox One or."
I said though, I think that'll only last a couple of years. You know, I don't know. It all depends on UWP though. End it there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just fanboys that are overhyping it and saying like, "Oh my God, you gotta have this," but you don't. So at least for the next 2 years, you're gonna be able to enjoy the same games. But after 2 years, it might get to a point where, hey, these games that are coming out can only run on the Xbox One X.
Yeah, well, that's what I've always predicted will happen. So it's like I'm totally content and fine with that happening. If I go 2 years without Xbox One X and they start doing that, then I'll get one. Don't have a problem. I won't be buying it brand new off Microsoft. I know for a fact I'll be getting one second hand. I'm getting one for even less. So it's like this guy came back me one time and goes, "Oh yeah, well you've just backed down on what you were saying. You said you weren't going to get a Scorpio," and it's like Xbox One. It's like, what of Xbox One? I bought the console second hand, for God's sake. Chill out.
I kind of got sidetracked though. All right, so anyway, real quick, I made a feedback because all this backlash how 17 has been, right? Lack of games and the perception of Xbox that people think that it's all doom and gloom because they've had a bad year. And, what's the reason to get an X, right? Or even what's the reason to get an Xbox? Most people are saying. So I put a feedback, and I even tweeted, with Aaron Greenberg and I forgot who else. Of course, they're not going to say anything on Twitter about it. And so I did a feedback to see if it could get enough votes, and say they need to have a PSX like event, an Xbox Fan Fest, maybe in January, and showcase the games that are going to be coming out in spring, and maybe a little teaser or two, like, hey, this is what we're going to show E3, maybe, just to get the hype up. I mean, because right now the perception of Xbox is pretty low, even with the Xbox One X coming out. If you don't show any games that people are gonna be like, oh shit, this game looks good, and I want to I want an Xbox for it. So I mean, that Sony did a good job last year with the PSX show, and then even at the Paris show, I think last year they did it. Was it the Paris or the PSX? They did a teaser for the Last of Us 2, right? It was just a quick 30-second or whatever it was. I mean, that alone right there is just enough to, get enough people to, oh shit, I'm buying the PS4 because I know that game's coming out soon, Yeah. And I kind of think Xbox needs to kind of follow suit a little bit and just, get the hype up, because you got a big gap between Gamescom and then you got E3 the following year. So they're going to have games in the spring of next year. I think it'd be a good deal for them to try it. They can stream it, in their home headquarters, and get Major Nelson to do it, and just invite the devs, bring the games over to show them off, that are going to be coming out in the spring. Especially like Sea of Thieves, because you hear, like last night, I'm not going to say who, but you hear people saying they don't think Sea of Thieves looks good, but they don't think it's going to do good. So even at Xbox needs to do a better job showcasing these games and marketing them. Just to show that, hey, this is a good game. I don't know. So maybe if you know, you get people quit bitching all the time and being so negative on Twitter and podcasts, and you know, and go do something about it. Go and ask Xbox. Go do a feedback and get enough people to, you know, to join up. And if they don't listen to it, then oh well, you know what? I guess I'm not going to buy your game, you know. And you vote with your wallet, I guess.
It works without voting, isn't it? More people you get to sign up.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be a little proactive, not just bitch about it all the time. You know, that's all people do.
We need to get one up for like more first party single player games on the pronto.
Well, Phil said that we're going to get some more. I'm sure we're going to get a couple single player games that people have been asking for. Now, whether they're good or not, we'll find out. But
just stop with all this. Every game's got to have fucking online multiplayer or whatever the case may be. I'm telling you, I still think the death of Scalebound were this 4-player co-op. And
that
probably
that could have been part of it, because some people were saying Platinum, they don't really do co-op games, right? They don't do online games.
Yeah, man.
So maybe it was just a lot for them to add in the game. But
it's like the old Fables had drop in, drop out, like co-op, but
yeah,
it never saved also when other person had quit all it or transferred to main character. So
yeah, it was actually a good way to loot up.
Yeah,
to get it.
You could keep loading another character in, couldn't you? They were cheap.
Oh, that's what I did. Yeah, totally. Totally.
High level, because they'd get more experience, and then when you immediately quit out, it gives you a shit ton of more experience.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
and gold too. You could get a ton of gold that way.
Yeah,
that's what I did.
I don't think it was good at working like that, would it? I don't think.
Nah.
Just with all that path to God knows whatever bullshit. Path to the kingdom.
I guess we're
I think we kind of gone over our hour. We've been like that the last two, right? Ever since. See, this is what my 3-hour tour. He gave us a 3-hour tour bug.
Well, it's good to know that as guests can all leave on us, and we've still got shit to talk about.
Yeah. So.
Thanks to the guests.
Yeah.
We appreciate that they dropped in.
Yeah, everybody in chat.
Yeah,
UK, J Street, Nate, HCK.
B Money.
B Money was there. And
yeah, I can't believe how good we're doing, man.
Yeah, it's having fun. Appreciate everybody coming in and joining and subbing, giving us a thumbs up.
Yeah, and don't forget I dropped a shit out fucking GTA video earlier.
That's a good one.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, go everybody. Look in the description. Go look at Witty's YouTube page. Check out his streams. And SuPRcooP, go check out some of his droning. See what the latest.
You want to make that stress.
I added a couple extra podcasts. UK Dads. I added the coffee casuals consoles and the next podcast on the list. So those are pretty good.
Definitely.
I need to add Too Much Food, food buffet. And there was another one that I saw UK Dads was in the other night, right, Witty? He was saying he was up late.
Yeah, that one in the food buffet, wasn't it?
Fresh. No, it was Fresh something.
I'm sure it's
he's been on food
title.
But,
episode 7, if I wasn't mistaken. So they're beating us by 1. We've got to have to put an end to that.
Yeah.
We'll have to catch you up and do an extra podcast sometime, one of these, live show or something.
And next week we're gonna have old Nathan Fisher, Mr. Natty Redghouse. So I guess next week we'll probably talk about the. So Nate, everybody get your top 5 games.
Top 5
list. That'll be next week.
Top 5 and get ready for some life advice.
All right, so everybody, thanks for joining WFC podcast number 6. It was fun. Exactly. How come we don't fucking care, Coop?
We just game, man.
There you go. Yes, sir. And that will be the end of this podcast. So thank you,
Thanks
everybody.
for joining us, everyone.
Yeah, we're out.